Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BUS 104. Today is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to everybody. May the 3rd. I hope you're enjoying your May so far. Welcome to a new month. So, today we're going to have a guest speaker for our week 13 class session on marketing. And of course, we remember him from our FYE3 presentation on, the corporate presentation, corporate profile that we made about 3 weeks ago or so. Mr. Joy Meregini joins us again today, and he's going to be making a presentation on accounting and financial management for small businesses. And time permitting, he will also get into some hands-on accounting sections via Excel and maybe some other worksheets or spreadsheets or something. So let us welcome Mr. Joy Meregini. You're welcome to our class, Mr. Joy. You have the floor.
Thank you, Professor Remy, for having me. Hi, everyone. Um, Thanks again. I'm happy to join this class. I remember Marlo. I think Marlo is here. Hi, Marlo, and everyone else on this call. I will be starting today by looking at our learning objectives or learning outcomes. What we expect to get at the end of this session is to understand what accounting is and also understand financial accounting and managerial accounting, the uses of each of these concepts, how we can practically apply them in our day to day lives. And because this course has some focus on small business, we're looking at understanding bookkeeping and small business bookkeeping. We'll also look at, lastly, financial management in brief. If we have time, we'll look at some ways to use some accounting data or some ways to use raw data and create spreadsheets or charts in Excel. So it's going to be very interactive, and I will pause and ask questions as we go along. What is accounting? What do you understand by accounting? Not the textbook definition, not what you see on screen, but what is your own definition of accounting? I will be glad to call on those I see on the screen. Um, Ayana or George, do you want to give it a stab? What do you understand by accounting in your own words?
My understanding of accounting is the method of tracking assets and liabilities of a business on like a balance sheet to ensure that the business is operating in a profit.
That is good. I like that. That's a good try.
Yeah, so
George, go ahead.
actually both of my parents, they were actually accountants, but I don't really know how to answer this question, but it's just like it's kind of like the process of like talking about the economic titles with different business like corporations. Like she said, the balance sheets. There's just so much to it. I don't know how to explain it. I can go into depth.
I like what you said. Use the word process, and I'll talk about that. Okay, now Ramon and Marlo, if I were to ask you, can you define accounting in one phrase? So don't use too many words, just use a phrase. Few words. What would you think are the most important words that you would put in there? Maybe I start with Ramon. And it's
I
not a
would
trick
say
question.
accounting is seeing what money comes in and what money comes out. If I had to sum it up in one phrase.
I really like that. I really like that. And Marlo, if I said put it in 5 words, use what Ramon said, but put it in 5 words, or use whatever you want to. What is accounting in your own words? 5 words only. If you only had 5 words to describe accounting for a grade 2 student. Marlo, if you're talking, I think you're on mute. Okay, one last try.
Oh,
Let
sorry.
me
Yes,
see.
Professor, say that. I'm so sorry. I was muted. I'm sorry. Can
Yes.
you repeat that again?
So, what is accounting in your own words? If you had only 5 words, and from this word jar, you can only pick 5 words and describe accounting in a phrase, what would you say? And I loved what Ramon said, what George said, what they've all said, but in your own words, what is accounting?
I would say that accounting, in 5 words, you said, Professor?
Yes, about 5, 7 words.
Okay. I would say the process of analyzing financial data. That's how I personally would describe it.
I like that. That you all said the right things. It's a part of it. In its simplest form, accounting is the keeping of records. And that's what you see in the first line: record, recording, measuring those records, summarizing records. But what records are we talking about? Business activities, financial data, as Marlo said, financial transactions that relate to the business. That is accounting. You record it, you measure it, you analyze it, you summarize it. Every financial transaction that is tracked and in a way where you trap those records, that is accounting. The question is, how do we trap those records? That is where bookkeeping comes to play. A bookkeeper will make sure they record and put down every financial business activity so you can have and generate data. Now, the accounting process includes summarizing, interpreting, but it doesn't end there. These data and records you've kept, you have to communicate them in a reporting fashion to people who we call financial experts, financial managers, because they use this financial information to create reports for both internal management or the owners of the firm and external decision makers. Now, we all have heard about IRS. These are the tax bodies who want to see what you're doing so they can take their share in the form of taxes. We know of the regulators. They want to see what the company is doing, the firm is doing, so they can decide if they are following all the regulations that have been laid down. We know of oversight agencies, collection entities, suppliers, providers. They are interested in financial records. So, in summary, at the nutshell, accounting is about keeping records, processing these records, analyzing these records, and summarizing the financial transactions in the form of data that can be used by both internal and external users. I'm going to come to the primary difference between accounting and finance, because the next question will be, what is finance? Accounting is focused strictly on what I just explained, but finance is more wider ranging. Finance covers much more areas, both in the world of business, in the world of economics, and banking. So you notice that accounting is not necessarily banking, it's just what I've explained: keeping of records and data, measuring those data, communicating them to internal and external stakeholders. However, finance involves business, economics, banking, the stock market, and all the whole gamut. Is it clear? Do we have any questions? Any questions? Perfect. I will go ahead now. So, as I said in the earlier slide, financial accounting, we have both financial accounting and managerial accounting. And I will explain the differences between both of these. Financial accounting deals with financial statements, the information you see on these financial statements. And primarily, they are used for external uses and also internal uses. So, internal owners of the business, what we call business managers, they could use them for internal decision making. However, primarily, you want to get these financial accounting records for external users. What are these financial records? We have balance sheets, we have income statement that shows the money that you got into the business, how you generated the profit of the business by recording expense and income. We have statements of cash flow, how cash moves through the business. And remember, every business sometimes we have a need to take loans or equity from stockholders, people who own the business, those that bring their money to start the business. They are the equity owners. These parties, need to see the financial accounting information. They're very interested in the financial accounting information. Now, there are also outside parties that make decisions for the company. Do we increase our investments in this company? Do we decrease our investments? Is the company doing well? Are they liquid? Are they financially solvent? Do we increase our credit? A bank will always want to know if the credit they've extended to a company in terms of loans is okay. Okay, George. Now, financial information relates to the whole company. However, when we look at managerial accounting, we're looking at segments of the company. For example, sales reports. I am the managing director or a director of sales. I want to know what has happened in the past 3 months, January, February, and March, Q1 2024, because I want to look at my sales activity in the first quarter of 2024. Then I will need management accounts. So such an information where they gather all the sales presented in the form of data that's usable for me to look at in the form of reports, sales report for the first quarter of 2024, that would be a managerial account. It's internal use. It's providing a special information for a sales manager in the company. Okay? Now, you can also look at why cost range, cost estimates, but when management accountants look at the company, they're looking at statements that are needed for internal uses. You must be very knowledgeable about how this operates, about the firm, business, about the operations of the firm. Now, do we have any questions on financial accounting and managerial accounting? Great. Let's go to bookkeeping. What is bookkeeping? I remember when I started talking last time, I said you need to track this information and record them, and that's where bookkeeping comes in. Bookkeeping is that process where you record all the financial transactions and business activities that the business does. Anything the business is involved in, they make a sale, they make an expense, every single activity must be recorded so we can track data that's used to prepare financial reports and management reports. So a bookkeeper will be responsible for recording, classifying, and organizing every financial transaction that is made when the business has operations. You see that it differs from accounting. Accounting, Malo, I'll get to you soon. Accounting uses the books that the bookkeeper prepares to create their statements and reports. But the bookkeeper is responsible and focused on recording every financial transaction. Yes, Malo, what's your question?
Yeah, Professor. Sorry, I was just wondering if uh, is it still a practice to bookkeep physically, like to document all of your financial statements by hand, or has it now ultimately shifted to a digital space where everything is now done through the computer?
That's a great question, Malo. I really love that question, and I was going to go there. Because of the number of transactions that companies would have, even small businesses today generate so much data, it's easier, it's advisable, it's efficient, and it optimizes the business process if you do it digitally. There are also lots of simple applications and complex applications that would help companies do their bookkeeping. You have QuickBooks, that's a very popular one. I'm not making advertisement for anyone here, but there are so many applications out there that would help you go into a computer, download the application, record your transactions electronically. Back in the day, my grandparents' day, they would record every transaction by hand. I remember my dad used to work somewhere where they would have stacks and stacks and stacks of files where they keep files. They call them file lockers because everything was recorded in their hand and they had to file them off and keep them. Today, we have digital and electronic ways we can capture the same files so we don't have to physically keep them in paper. Most paper is being transferred digitally. That's a great question, Marlo. Thank you for your question. Any other question? Okay. Now, looking at this chart here, what I would call a table, I try to differentiate the management accounts and financial accounts. And I use this table to show you what each of them are responsible for. Basically, a management accountant is looking at reports that are tailored to the needs of individual managers in the firm. As I said earlier on, if I need to generate sales reports, for example, I want to know what sales did I make, what footfalls did I make in house, in the people that walked into the company are called footfalls into my shop, what digital sales did I make on my website, what sales did I make over the applications like TikTok shopping, Facebook shopping, or over any digital marketplace, and collect all those for January, February, and March, Q1 2024, the first quarter. That's a detailed sales report. I will look for the management accountants to produce that report for me. On the other hand, if I want to generate financial statements because we've had financial year end 2023. Now, a financial year end will usually a 12-month rolling period. And I say I need a report because I want to generate my reports for the stock market. Let's say I'm a publicly traded firm. Last time we looked at companies on the S&P 500. Those reports we looked at, the 10K report, the income statement, balance sheet, statement of cash flows, were generated by financial accountants. Now, a management accountant is responsible for creating relevant, timely, and accurate information for decision makers. As I told you, I need to generate sales report. I want to know if I'm increasing in sales month over month or decreasing in sales month over month. So looking at January, February, and March, that's first quarter sales report for 2024. I want to know, where did I increase? Did I make more sales digitally? Did I make more sales in brick and mortar in the office? So people didn't walk into the shop and physically make a purchase. Did I make less sales over time? What's the trend of sales? Is it going up, down, or is it flat? That's a relevant, accurate, and specific report that I need to make decisions. Do I present more coupons? Do I give discounts? Do I increase my price? That is a report specific to sales and marketing. I could also say I need a report for HRO. How many staff called off sick during the month of January, during the month of March? That's a specific report I need to know. Is the motivation of staff going up or down? Are they always calling out sick? That's a trend I want to monitor. Are there issues? How many staff come late? I want to monitor that. HR might need those reports. It's a functional area. You might need a functional operational report. What's the number of expenses I made? Let's look at our expense book. What kind of expenses are we making? Are we doing more capital expenses, more operational expenses? Should we sell some assets in the firm? What assets are generating money, or which assets are declining? Have the assets in the firm run out their depreciation? Can we afford to expand capacity? Do we produce more so we can have a fast and stable reorder level? How do we optimize our profits? These are information that would need us to generate specific management reports used by the owners and managers of the firm. Those are management accounts. Any questions on management accounting? Oh, Marlo, go ahead, please.
Yeah, Professor. I was also just wondering if executives would take into account financial accounting, for instance, say, or an income statement or balance sheet when making decisions, or if they primarily only focus on management accounting for the decision making.
Perfect. I love that. I was going to go into that when I talk about kind of financial accounting. Now, financial accounts are used both by internal executives and owners of the firm and for external reporting purposes. So if I want to prepare financial statements like a balance sheet, that's a snapshot of where the company is at a point in time. For example, by December 2023, financial year end 2023, what is my total asset? What is my total liability? I can assure you, Marlo, if I look at the sales report, I would not be able to see my total assets. You agree? Because that's a specific report for a specific use. If I look at my operations report and see number of my, let's say I produce shoes, number of my shoes making equipment like a tailoring sewing machine or a pulley system. How many of them have broken down in the year 2023? How many of my machines needed repair? Specific reports on how many of my machines I had to spend money on. I wouldn't be able to generate my financial statement or balance sheet of all the assets in the firm by looking at that small report. So a balance sheet is still used by the owners of the firm because it's a snapshot, like a higher level view of the total assets of the firm, the total liabilities of the firm. And that makes me make it's a different type of decision. So decision makers make different decisions at the management level and at a higher level because you always want to look strategically at the firm, what you need to do. If I look at my income statement, my gross earnings, my gross revenue, my expenses, my net profits, I want to know over time if I will need funding, where I will need funding. Do I need to fund operational expense? Do I need capital funding for long term so I can buy more equipment and machinery? Those are information you will need when you look at both management reports and financial accounts. So yes, Marlo, they would still need to look at financial accounts because there are different decision points that should be made depending on the size of the firm. Any other questions? Great. So financial accounts are also looking at income statement, balance sheet, statement of cash flows, statement of owner's equity. Now, publicly traded companies would have to publish this financial statement by law. It's regulatory. In the US, we have what we call generally accepted accounting principles. So they issue the financial accounting standard boards in the US issue basic principles for financial reporting based on the GAAP guidelines. If you're outside the US, you will have what we call the International Financial Reporting Standards. That's the standard they use for accounting outside the US. Within the US, they use Generally Accepted Accounting Principles, GAAP. Now, these reports that we produce, as I said earlier on, are used by investors, creditors, owners, government agencies, labor unions. And so if I had to produce or supply you goods and credits, I would want to know if you are solvent and if you can pay me. The way I would do that is to look at your financial reports. I'll say, give me 3 years financial data. Let me know how much credit I can extend to this company on a rolling basis. Do we have any questions? Any more questions? Great. Let me go ahead. So what do I need to ensure records for business are accurately captured? The answer is on the screen. Let me just ask Marlo or Raymond, or Marlo, you've spoken, maybe Raymond or George or Alice, anyone that's not spoken. What do I need to do to ensure the records for business are accurately captured? If I'm running a small business, what do I need to do to make sure that every record in my business is captured? Ayana, do you want to give it a try?
Yes, we need to ensure that we're keeping track of all of our receipts and having a system to record it in a timely manner.
That is perfect, Ayana. As the transactions are happening, you need to be recording them, or else you could lose track of the transactions. And I love what you said, Ayana. Receipts. We have what we call cash book, credit book, credit sales, cash sales, credit statements, cash statements, expense book, petty cash book. Every little thing you can generate just to make sure you track every activity. Bills,
So like the pay bills, invoices, and like the deposit stuff you're talking about?
Yep.
All
Yep.
right.
Even your deposit slip, you buy gas, you track it down, you keep it down because you want to capture every single expense and income that comes to the firm. It's critical for a small business to do this because you don't have much capital, you cannot afford wastages. These information are tracked by the bookkeeper or in a bookkeeping system. So if you don't have the funds, as Marlo asked, to employ a bookkeeper, you have a bookkeeping system that will do that for you. That information, but you have to enter the data. Remember, data is only as good as the information entered to it. You agree? So you have to be sure to track the data, enter the data in the bookkeeping system, and then the accountant can take that report and do some analysis, review, and reporting. Any other questions? Do you all understand? Okay, I will go ahead now. So I'm going to ask someone who has not spoken, why do we need to do bookkeeping? Chad or Janelle, do you want to give an answer? Give it a try.
Yeah, I would say like probably for like taxes or like just so that you could see compare like how your business is doing at different points in time so you could have those receipts?
Perfect. Perfect. The perfect example you gave, Jad, is taxes. You want to be sure you have everything in hand when the taxman comes ringing or when it's tax season. Any other try? One more try before we go ahead. Let me say, Janelle has not spoken on Guillermo. Janelle or Guillermo, why do we need bookkeeping? Or Ramon, if you want to try, Ramon. Why bookkeeping? Ramon, do you want to try? Or Guillermo? Or anyone else? Feel free, it's open. Do you want to say something that's not been said? Go ahead, please.
I would say bookkeeping is important to realize where your money is going to prevent overspending in one specific area.
Absolutely perfect. It's very easy to lose track of where your money goes if you don't have a time where you sit and say, where did I get the most income from? Where did I put the most expense in? You'll be shocked some small businesses find out that they spend too much money on stationaries, they cut down on stationaries. Some spend too much money on lunch, they cut down on lunch. That is so important to have bookkeeping to track, as Ayana said, where the money is coming in from, where the money is going. Marlo, go ahead.
Yeah, Professor. I was also what comes to mind with this is that it's also important just to keep all of your financial statements documented and organized. I read an article, I don't know from where, but it emphasized that a lot of these small businesses are not able to fully thrive because they don't have a ground with financial statements that are organized, and a lack of bookkeeping can really get in the way of their business. So it's really a strong fundamental.
You couldn't have said it better, Marlo. Thank you so much. A lot of small businesses struggle in this area because they lose track of recording transactions at the moment it happens, and they just forget, and then their accounts are not balanced because their books are not properly kept. That's a perfect point, Marlo. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Ayana, too. Now, bookkeeping is the backbone of accounting and financial systems. Remember, you have to do basic data entry. And when it happens, you record it. After recording it, you have to categorize them. Which of these are expenses, what we call operational expenses? Which of them are day-to-day expenses? If you pay rent every month, you cannot track it as operational. It's what we call, maybe you call rents. It's more fixed. You know you will pay your rent. The amount is fixed. It's not one-off. If you want to buy lunch, you can't say, I would spend $20.15 every Saturday to buy lunch. No, it's not fixed. It's an operational expense. You could spend $5, you could spend 15. If you want to buy, let's say, stationery, pens, you don't have a fixed amount for that. So you must categorize your transactions. When you have credit sales, you categorize them. Cash sales, categorize them. Expenses, you categorize them. When you do that, you go into what we call accounts receivable, accounts payable, and I'll talk about that very soon. If someone is owing you and you record it in your books, that person becomes a what? A receiver, because you know you're going to expect to receive that amount. If you are owing or you know you're going to pay rent and bills, those become payable because you're going to pay them out. You have to run payroll. Let's say you have 5 staff. You have to know you have paid your staff at the end of the month. You put it in the system. You need to be able to do all these things. And as I think Marlo said at the beginning, we have so many applications now that are digital that can help you run payroll, run accounts receivable, accounts payable, categorize transactions if you can enter the data in the software. So many accounting software now for this. Any questions? Okay, let me define some of the terms I used in the earlier slide. A balance sheet. A balance sheet tells you what you have at a specific point in time. Just remember, if it's a snapshot at a specific point in time, that's a balance sheet. What's my total assets? What's my total liabilities? What do I owe? What do I have? What's my equity? What's left for me? That is a picture at a certain day. That's why in the balance sheet you will see balances as at December 31st, 2023. It's at a specific point in time. However, an income statement tells how much you have earned over a period of time. So you will see income statement for financial year 2024, then you will see January income, February, March. It's a snapshot. It's not a snapshot, but it's a series. It's a trend. So you can make trend analysis with your income statement. What's your gross earnings? What's your cost of goods sold, the amount you use to produce your goods? What's your expense? What's your operating expense? What are your fixed expenses? What are your variable expenses? What's your gross profits? What's your taxation? What's your depreciation? What's your net profits? This information is seen in the financial statement. When you see the term fiscal year, you're talking about a financial statement on a 12-month basis. Now, cash accounting. Anytime a transaction change, when cash changes hands, you record the transaction. That is cash accounting. However, sometimes you have credit sales. You don't exchange cash, you sell goods on credit. Anytime you have a transaction and you have a sale or a purchase and cash does not change hands to the later time, like they have to pay later, in a credit sale, you use what we call accrual accounting. Let me talk about accounts payable. Anytime a company wants to see what they owe to their creditors or their suppliers, what we sometimes call current liability accounts, we have what we call accounts payable. Simply, just think, when I have to pay someone, it's a payable. I pay out, payable. I'm owing someone, I have to pay. You know that you pay your bills at the end of the month. Today is March 3rd, I guess, and we have maybe 28 more days to the month end. We've accrued some bills already for our Netflix, for our light bills, for our heating bills. Those go into the accounts payable because you're going to pay at the end of the month your heating bill. On the other hand, when you have money due to the firm, I just talked about credit sales. People buy things on credit, they've not paid, so you expect to get money, or you've delivered a service, you're not yet paid. Those will go under accounts receivable. Think of it this way: I'm to receive something from someone, receivable. So, do we have any questions on definition of terms? I try to keep it simple as possible so you can understand at the basic level. Any questions on these terms? Perfect. Let's move on. So, assets, liabilities, and equity. Anytime I want to know what the company owns in terms of its accounts receivables, I just talked about what someone is owing me, and the current inventory, the amount of stock I have, the amount of goods I have, that the sum total of all the inventory and account receivables are the assets of the firm. This could also include fixed assets. If I have plants, machinery, I have cars, I have printers, anything you have, computers, laptops, desktops, that is the asset of the firm that can be used to generate cash, or that counts towards your inventory, are your assets. We could talk about liabilities. Anything the company owes is a liability. If I have a bank loan and I'm yet to pay it off, I owe the bank some money. I'm liable to the bank. If I take a business loan, if I have a mortgage, anything on the books that is a debt is a liability. If I owe suppliers. On the other hand, if I have cash in the bank, like I can have a balance of like $5,000 in the bank, that's an asset for me. Equity. Anytime I make an investment in my business, or I have investors invest in the business, that's the equity. Simple enough, right? Assets are what the company owns. Liabilities are what the company owes. Equity is the investments I make in the business. Any question? Okay, Marlo, go ahead, please. Take it away.
Yeah, Professor. Sorry. I was just wondering if for example, like a stake would be considered equity, like a stake. hold in the company? Would that be considered equity, or is that a different?
Obviously, if you have a stake in a company, you are an investor in the company, correct? You agree? If
Yes.
you are an investor, that's a stake in the company. Obviously, it's an equity. So we have what we call the accounting equation. Assets are equal to the financial obligations of the company plus what the owners own, or the claims, or as you said, Malo, the stake in the business. So assets, which is the economic resources owned by the business, is equal to liabilities plus stakeholders' equity. That's the accounting equation. Assets are equal to liabilities plus stakeholder equity. That's the accounting equation. Any questions? Okay, let's talk a bit about financial management. Financial management involves planning, what we call financial planning, investing money, how you spend money, and financing, how you raise funds for the firm. Remember, I said the financial managers will need to make decisions based on the books you keep for the firm. So when you present financial reports and management reports, the financial manager will look at the numbers and analyze the cash flows of the firm. Now, one of the reports that the firm creates, if you remember when I said it here, is what we call statements of cash flow. So the financial manager will look at the statement of cash flow and create reports, analyze it, and say, what form of financial financing is optimal for the firm? Do I take more equity? Do I take more debt? Do I raise loans? Do I go and raise money in the stock markets? It's closely related to accounting, but it's not accounting. Accountants collect and present financial data, but financial managers use financial statements to make financial decisions. So, I'm going to talk very briefly about the differences between accounting and finance. Now, under accounting, we have auditing, budgeting, financial accounting, financial reporting, forensic accounting, international accounting, management accounting, tax accounting, actuary, auditor. So if you want to take a career in accounting, you can look at in any of these lines. However, in finance, you have asset markets, asset managers, you have behavioral finance, you have corporate finance, financial management, financial markets, financial engineering, international finance, private equity, venture capital, and commercial bankers. This is the different areas in accounting and finance. Remember, I said finance is more broad ranging. It involves banking, economics, and accounting. Any questions? Okay. Remember, the end goal of the financial manager is always to maximize the value of the firm to the owners of the firm. A financial manager at Boston Medical Center is thinking of maximizing the value of the firm to the owners. A financial manager at Uber wants to maximize the value of the firm to the owners of the firm. So that about wraps up our talk for today. Do we have questions? So we have enough, maybe 10 minutes for some Excel hands-on practice and looking at how to create data and present reporting in Excel. Do we have any questions? Hi, Mala, go for it.
Yeah, Professor. I was just wondering, in terms of financial managers, let's say for large companies like Microsoft and Google, would they, would they hire such financial managers internally, or do they already have them internally, or would they go out and hire them publicly, or how does that process work for larger?
Very usually, a financial manager, actually, what you usually have the term CFOs, Chief Financial Officer. These are people that use both management reports and financial reports. They usually have grown in the firm, or they could come outside the firm externally, but they're very skilled in both accounting and finance because they have to make decisions based on the reports they get from accountants and the financial reports. That's what a financial manager is, and that's what they do. They create decisions based on the financial statements that are available to them. Does that answer your question?
Yes, Professor, thank you.
Great. Any other question? Okay, the next phase of the firm will be hands-on Excel. I would ask that we get our Excel spreadsheet open so we can do short 10 minutes practice. But in the meantime, I want to quickly talk about It's 45 minutes. Do we need a break? Take some coffee or take a drink?
Yeah, like 5 minutes if that's okay, Professor.
Okay, let's take a 5 minute break. We'll come back to do Excel hands-on practice.
So let's be back about 6:20.
Great. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, Professor.
Yep.
Great. So, welcome back. One of the reasons why we always say you should be conversant with Excel is as a financial manager, as an accountant, you'll be dealing with reports. It might be something like this. Oh, we have 24 months analysis of stock trends for 3 companies, Nike, Adidas, Columbia, month by month, 2014, 2015, 2016. We can also give a simpler report. Oh, I've created some data here. Let me use this one. So I can say we have 82 students in our current class 2024 in Excel class. I want to know how many got A to A minus. From here you can see 16 people made A to A minus, 26 made B to B plus to B minus, 25 made C plus to C minus, 10 made D plus to D minus, and 5 of them scored, oh my gosh, F. Now I could create a report that looks just like this to show the trend and say, oh, so we have these people creating this, okay. I could also create another report that says all the Excel classes. We have 500 that made this, 600 made B, 500 made C, 300 made D, finally 100 made F. So these are the kind of simple reports you can create from data. Let me give you another raw data. Let's say we have Arizona, California, Colorado, Idaho, some states in the US. And I want to know the number of community colleges in each of these states. I would say, oh, there are 39 community colleges in Arizona, 115 in California. Let me say I want to know the number of full-time and part-time students enrolled. I have the data right here. If I want to know the number of mixed enrollment students, I have the data. Or I say I want to know those under 20 and those above 20. The data is right here. Let's say we want to look at men and women. The data is right here. These are different statistics you can use. Let me look at another raw data. Let's say we look at winter term. We're looking at prospects that will come into the schools for admissions, 5,500. People that made inquiries online, 3,300. Number of applications, 1,890. Number of admissions, 1,522. And those that we actually enrolled, 932. You notice these are all raw data, right? Now, I have another data here, expense reports for advertising, digital marketing, events, public relations, promotions. I could create a bar chart, a Gantt chart, a pivot table from this raw data. Now, do we all have our Excel spreadsheet open so I can know where to start from? Ayana, George, Wilemo, Jad, Janelle, Marlon, Nathan, and Raymond. Give me a thumbs up if you have your spreadsheet because it's going to be very interactive and I want you to follow along. Do you have your spreadsheet open?
Trying to get an Excel right now. Hold up.
Is it
Okay.
where is it? Is it on Open Lab? I
No,
joined a
no,
little
just
late.
open a blank
Oh, just a
spreadsheet.
blank one? Oh, okay.
Yes, don't
Yeah.
worry about.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Now, while you're doing that, can you type? This is the simplest data to type. It couldn't get simpler than this. Just say admissions, winter, prospects, and put this amount there. I'm going to start with this because it's very, very simple. Let me, as you're typing, let me type too. So I'll be sure that. So I'm typing too, so I'll be sure that we are going along. I want us to be very interactive so you don't feel like I'm just doing things on the fly. Now, I'm a fast typer, so I assume that you probably need a few more minutes to type, but I've just typed the same thing I have here. So If I wanted to create a report from this, can I go ahead? Is anyone still typing? Okay, I assume you're all set. Okay, if I was going to create a report from this, what I would do next is highlight this place. Can you see what I'm doing? Any questions? Always start in Excel by highlighting. I click on this row and column and I drag it here. I could also do this. I click here, I use my arrow keys, press the shift bar and down arrow keys and highlight. Do you all follow?
Yep.
Good. The next thing, you come to this your screen here. Can you all see home, insert, draw, page layout, formulas, data, review? Do you all see that?
Yep.
Great. Now click on the second one, insert. If you do that, you will see a different ribbon will pop open. Can you all see this ribbon? It says pivot tables, recommended tables, tables. Now, depending on the version of Excel you have, sometimes you will see it here. It's going to be under chats, recommended chats. I want you to come to this one. Are you all there? Anybody that has not gotten yet, let me know. I'll wait for you. So click on insert. This drop down will come up and then you see under charts. I want you to go to bar charts. Let me ask if you are all there. Ayana, are you there? Guillermo, are you there? Janelle, Malo?
I'm
Yep.
clicking on
Nope.
but
Perhaps they can share maybe their screen to show what
Okay. Anyone wants to share their screen?
one
Anyone?
to make sure that they're on the correct
Please, yes. Anyone wants to share
It
their
says
screen?
if we start it, it'll stop your screen share. That's the only thing.
Okay, let me finish one and then I'll start seeing what you've done. Thank you, Jad, for that. So if you come here, let's do a simple chat. Okay? Can you all see I've created a chat here? This chart shows me the number of prospects. It's the same information, but it's showing me in a bar chart. Number of inquiries, applications, admissions, and enrollment. What do you notice? There are more prospects than inquirers, and from those that make an inquiry, there are less applications. From those that made an application, less admissions, and from all those that got admitted, fewer of them enrolled. I could use this. Let me use this chart. Let me use this one. The numbers are there. It's easier to see the numbers. Can you all see this? Now, who can do this? Who can volunteer to show me how they created this very simple chat? Marlo, Jad, or Ayana, do you want to volunteer? Or Raymond? Are you all yet? Were you able to create this chat? That's the first question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I created the chart, but I don't have the data, so it's like not showing anything. It's just like a blank chart.
Should I repeat myself, or who is confident enough to show me their screen?
I think I'm confident enough. I have the chart.
Okay, let's do Guillermo then. Let me see. Let me make you a host so you can share. Ayana, I see your face is kind of worried. Did you get a chance to do it?
I'm still inputting my data.
Okay, perfect. You can put any number. You don't have to put my data. Don't worry. Just put, but make sure the numbers come down. And I can share my screen again if you need the data. Guillermo, can you share your screen now? Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. That's it. So you have the data in there. You have the inquiries, application enrollments. Do you notice from Guillermo's screen that he has prospects? And from the prospects, we have less people making inquiries. And from the inquiries, less people making applications. And then less people enrolling. Perfect, Guillermo. Thank you very much. Who needs the information from Guillermo's screen? It's all here. Who wants to try again? Ayana, do you have your data completed?
No, I'm sorry, I just had a call.
Oh, that's fine. Do you have your data completed? Do you need more? Do you need the numbers for the prospects and inquiries? or the applications or admissions? Oh, Janelle, go ahead, Janelle. Hi, Janelle. I can see your hand. Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, Janelle, can you click where you have chat design? Can you click on the other one on the left? If you go up, up, no, up, yes, to keep going up, right where you have those designs. No, just go up, up. Yeah, perfect. Can you click on that? Yes, perfect. Can you click another one? Perfect. You see? So you can change the chat depending on what your internal managers prefer. Some people like it like this. They want to see numbers and the chat. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Any other person want to try? I really like this, Janelle. Thank you. Any other person? Any other person want to give it a try before I go to the next charts? We can create more charts. I will show you a second one now. So thank you, Janelle. Let me share my screen. With the same data, is anyone confused? Anyone needs me to slow down? Guillermo, Jad, Nathan, Marlo, do I slow down?
No, I got it.
Okay. Marlo, Raymond, are you good? Nathan?
Yeah, Professor.
Okay. Now I'm going to show you that same data you have. With that same data, you can actually create more chats. Now to show you what I mean by that. Let me share my screen and show you. You want to see my screen?
Professor, I have a question. Sorry.
Please go ahead.
How did you make the for example the titles, for example the winter term 2020 above the data?
So you can start highlighting from here. Okay. And then you come to insert, pick your screen. Maybe you want to do something like trend series and show. Do you see?
Got it. Thank you. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Thank you.
You can come here. If you choose something like that, you can say the title is admissions pipeline. You can do that. You can come here. You can also change it. So this is another type of data you can create. It's called a trend series. So rather than choosing this one, you choose the second one. Do you all see it? Can you all try that now? I'll give you time to try it, and then I'll check your screens before we go to another one, which is called a pie chart. Can we try with this trend series data, line data? Who has been able to do this?
Say that again, Professor. Sorry.
So initially we are able to look at our column chart or bar chart. I want you to create one with this line chart, the second one here. Use it to create something like what you see on my screen. Who can show me their screen? And then I want us to also look at pie charts before we go to maybe pivot tables if we have time. Who can show me their screen? Great. Okay, Ayana, please go ahead and share your screen. I'll stop sharing. You know where the share screen button is?
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, perfect, perfect. Thank you, Ayana. That's great. So if you click on that chart title, can you click in there, please? Can you change the title of your charts to admissions pipeline? If you click inside it, it's yes, to let you type. Beautiful. Admission ADM. Perfect. Great. Thank you, Ayana. Then do one more thing, Ayana. If you click on it again, perfect. You can change the column names if you want. You can also do that. Yeah. So we had winter term, but you can leave it if you don't have to. You can leave it. Now, if you click in there again and go to where you have those charts, you can see different versions and you can change the versions. No, click on the actual chart, the body, in the body, yeah. Do you see that you can change the versions up there? No, if you go up,
right here?
yeah, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's it. You can create different versions based on what you yes, perfect. You can click on that one, yes. That no left, yes. That one, no, yes, yes. So it's up to you to decide how you want to present your data to your stakeholders. Thank you, Ayana. This is beautiful. Appreciate it. Any other person wants to give it a try? I want us to do pie charts and then we'll move on to other chats. Ramon or Nathan, do you want to give it a try? You've been very quiet on this call, Nathan. Usually you would speak up. Or Jad now, Jad or Nathan.
You want me to share my screen and show the line graph?
Please too, please.
Yeah.
Now everyone, if you feel this is very basic, I can go very advanced very quickly.
Are you able to see?
Oh yes, sure.
Yeah. Like this?
Perfect.
And then
Perfect.
change the name.
Yes.
What was it?
Admissions pipeline. So these are simple charts. If you're making a presentation, let's say in a company, you don't want to show them raw data like that. If you give them these charts, then if you go up, Nathan, I'm sorry, Jad, just go up. Oh, yeah. Click another one. Click another one on the left.
This one?
Yes.
Yeah.
You see, in there you have numbers. You can use any format you like. When you present this to a stakeholder or a click on insert.
I lost it. Sorry, yeah.
Insert, yeah. So when you present this to click inside the graph.
This one? This.
Yes.
Right.
So if you present something like this to a stakeholder, it makes you look professional.
Yeah.
You present professional. How does this sound? This or the raw data? Which would you prefer if you are going to make a decision?
Definitely this.
Because you can see in the picture what you're talking about. Look at the black one up there. Beautiful. Thank you, Jad. This is very helpful. Now, we're going to use the same data to create pie charts. If you want to stop sharing, Jad, I could share my screen. First of all, any questions? Malo, you're quiet. Are you able to do this, Malo?
Yep, Professor, I'm just listening.
Okay. Now, we're going to use the same data to create pie charts. And I want you to see the difference. You can all see my screen, right? I can come here. Now, you see this place where it says pie. I can go there and create different charts. Simple charts, complex charts. Let's start with this. What am I trying to show here? If I expand it, let me drag this down a bit. If I expand this chart, what do you notice? It's a color-coded chart. This shows from all these amounts, only from all the people we admitted, we only enrolled 932. So we have more people admitted and less people enrolled. Now it says here, blue stands for admission, orange stands for enrolled, purple stands for applications, this red stands for prospects, this green stands for inquiries. Can you all see it? So from those that made inquiries, less people made applications, and then here we have the data that presents both admissions and enrollments. I can do it in another way. If I say I don't want to do it this way, I want to do another pie chart, I could say I want this chart to show me what's happening here. I could put the numbers and put them here. Is this not better? You can see clearly that 12% of those that of the total number, 12% were those that were admitted, 7% were those that enrolled, 42% were prospects.
Professor,
yes, please.
Sorry, how did you get the numbers in there?
Okay, I will start again. I'm going to start again. Let me drag this down. Now, first thing we do is to what? To highlight, correct?
Mhm.
Can you all see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I can see.
Highlight it and drag it down. You can even add the admissions pipeline if you want. Have you all done that? Next, you go to inserts. Are we all there? Next, we go to pie chart. Do you see this pie chart here? So it's right close to where you had the bar graph or the line chart. You see pie chart there. And then you click on it. Let's do a simpler one. Let's do this one. So this is just showing you in pictures and in colors the number that enrolled, was admitted, the number of prospects, the number that made inquiries, and the number that we admitted. You see it. Now, if I want to see the numbers in this data, I come here, you'll notice it here. I can start looking for the one that shows me the one I want. Let's try this. No, I think I like this. Don't you like this? I think I like this too. So I'll pick something that shows me number. So this says that of all these people here, 7% enrolled, 12% were admitted. Do you understand what I'm trying to do from these numbers here? Do you get it?
Yep.
That's what I'm trying to do. So who has been able to create a pie chart and show us? Who has been able to create a pie chart for us to see? Let me stop sharing my screen.
I've gotten my pie chart, but I still I don't think I have like the same
version. Don't worry, I will get to your version. Janelle, show us yours and I'll go to Ayana. Show us yours, share your screen, let me see. And I'll go to Ayana right now to see what version of Excel she has. Perfect. Janelle, you just made my day. Thank you so much, Janelle. This is good. So from what you see now, from Janelle's screen, if I'm a decision maker, I can see, oh, 5,500 people were prospected, 3,003 made inquiries. So about half of those that were prospect actually make inquiries. So our pipeline is good, it's effective. But I can also see that of those that made inquiries, about half of them made applications. So what can we do to make more people apply? And from those that applied, a good number were qualified and were admitted, and then less of them enrolled, which is typical. So this is a very good picture representation, Janelle. 100 over 100. Thank you so much. This is good. Ayana, you can share your screen. Let me see the version you used, and let's see how we can get you there. And Nathan and Malo, I would love to see your screen, or Guillermo. I've not seen your screens. Nathan, Malo, Guillermo, get ready to share yours. Ayana, please go ahead.
okay.
Great. Now, click in the pie chart. Good. When you click there, if you want to change it, I think you're using a different version. What we could do is, you see up there, no, don't right click, just go up there where you see right under help. Under help. No, don't click on help. Go back to insert, just click on insert. Okay, you see different versions there? So you want to go to one that has a pie chart? And yes, go down. Okay, I think you have only two versions. Okay, that's why. Okay, click on the second one. Okay, click on the first one. I think your version of Excel only has two versions. That's why.
Okay.
But it's fine. You got it. You did it. Okay, Nathan, you're having trouble. Like, okay, that's fine, Nathan. Let's see from Guillermo or Malo. I got it, Nathan. Okay, I get it.
I can share
Wait.
mine.
Oh, please do. And thank you, Ayana. That was excellent. Great. Okay, thanks, Nathan. I see that. Oh, now you've done what I was looking for. Guillermo, you have to show us how you got here. I was waiting for someone to do this. You have to show us how you got here. Can you show us, please? So it not only has it in numbers, he has actually put the details in the pie chart. This is so good. How did you get here, Nathan? Is this Nathan? Who's sharing? Oh, Guillermo. How did you get here? Perfect. Okay, I see it. I see it. Good, beautiful. Oh, thanks. That's good. Can you all see what he's doing?
Yep.
I don't see that quick layout button that he's pressing.
So he's trying to put each of the in each of the pie charts, he's putting the names. So you see that applications is 1522, prospect is 5005, inquiries is 33, and maybe you want to put one for the purple, please, Guillermo. Perfect, perfect. That's it. Thank you, Guillermo. This is very good. That's what I was looking for. So you always want to show your pie chart in the most representative way. That's easy, and you can drag it, Guillermo, drag it out so it's bigger. On that place, yes, on the edge, just drag it out. Yes, perfect. So you always want to show a picture that is easy to understand and is easy to be read. If anyone sees this, they know exactly what this picture is saying. Thank you, Guillermo. This is very good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. I want to show you guys something else. Who is ready to go very advanced, or you want us to go gradually and go on? Are you all ready? Marlo, give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go ahead, or you want to have questions. Great. I'm going to show you something else you can do with your Excel spreadsheet. In 1 minute. One second. So let me share my screen and show you guys. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, Professor.
Great. Now you might not have this data, so just follow me carefully and closely, and you will be able to cope. So let's look at this data. This is a bit busy, but let's look at the simpler data. Expense report. Okay. Now we can look at this expense report data and say, what can we create out of this expense report data? We can create a, let's say, recommended charts. Let's see. Do you notice I just went to recommended charts? I didn't have to create mine, I just created it, but I can also show you how to do it. In this chart, I am combining both the line charts that we did and the graph charts. Do you all see it?
Yep.
So all I did is highlight as usual and show that in January, advertising is what color? Let me try and make it bigger. Can you all see this? I'm trying to make it bigger. I think it's as big as I can make it. Okay. So you will see that advertising is, let me minimize this. Advertising is blue. So in January, advertising expense was not that much. Digital marketing expense was not much. There's one that is very, very high. That is like promotions took a lot of our money, the chunk of our money, and public relations little. In February, we spend more money on events because that's the color code you see right here. That's the color code. We spend less money on promotions. We also spend quite a bit of money in advertising and very little money in public relations. In March, digital marketing took center stage and was the highest expense. Can you all see my screen and the color codes here? Blue is digital marketing. Blue is advertising. Deep blue or dark blue. Red is digital marketing. Green is events. Purple is public relations. And light blue is promotions. Now, in April, we see that again, promotions to the highest money, and then similar to the other trends. Now, when you do this on the trend analysis, you also want to show a line trend. You see that we spend money in January, but we spend more money in March. That's what this line series is telling us. We spend less in April in terms of total spend. We spend more money in April again. We went up. We dipped again in May, and we went up again in June. Can you see this trend? This is what we call a trend analysis. So by just looking at this chart, I can see that April and June are my highest expense months, and the lowest expense months are January and March. If I am a financial manager who wants to make a decision, I will now say, we spent this much money in April and June. What did we get in terms of income or revenue? I will go to the income report and check it and see what we got. Does this help you all?
Yep.
So I'm just showing you different ways we can create financial reports. I can also do what we call a pivot chart and show in terms of numbers what we did. Let me make this a sum and see how it changes. So let me not bother you with this. Let me just stick to the basics. So this is a simple report that can show you trends and the actual numbers based on the grid. Any questions? I know if I give you all this raw data, you can easily create this, correct?
Yep.
We created line and we created histogram today, so we can just combine both and have this report in there. Any questions? I've shown you how to create simple financial reports for management with Excel based on the raw data that you've collated. Today, when we looked at the Excel reports, we looked at raw data for number of students, we looked at raw data for enrollment statistics, and we looked at raw data for admissions. Can we do a little exercise? Who is confident if we do a little exercise? Who wants to give it a try? I will give you raw data and you're going to create for me the graphs. I promise you it's going to be very easy. Do you want to give it a try? Guillermo, Janelle, Malo, Jad? Can
Yeah,
we
sure.
go?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. I'm going to show you a number of simple slide that has 5 grades, A, B, C, D, F. And I'm going to show you number of people that scored that grade. Create a simple table for me from that, okay? It's going to be so easy you would wish I never even brought it up. Don't worry, it's going to be very easy. I promise you. Can you all see the screen?
Yep.
You don't have to create charts like this. Ignore my charts. Create your own, okay? Now, just type in number of students. Just type in this alone. Forget about this this last one here. So I'm going to type it here, number of students, and I'll wait for you to type the data. That's your title, and then on the left you have grade, the right you have current class. I'll just say class 2024, and then put the grades A, so A minus, B plus to B minus, C plus to C minus. I hope everyone on this class will get A to A minus, right? Marlo, are you going to get an A minus or A?
I hope so.
And then D plus to D minus. I don't think anyone wants to get an F in this class, correct? 16, 26, 25, 10, and 5. So, we're going to create something with this simple table. Are you all ready?
Yep.
I'll give you 5 minutes to type this out in your spreadsheets. This is the data I want you to use, the raw data. And if you are super confident, you can also do some fine gymnastics and add total. You can add total here, but you don't have to add it. You have liberty to add it or not. Do you all know how to add with Excel?
Yes, Professor.
So can you do it? You just highlight and add, right? Correct? You click on this, highlight it down here, and then click on this add button, sum button. Do you know the Marlo, George, Raymond, Nathan? Can you do this simple exercise?
Yep.
Okay, so you can total it and add it up here. Now, if you are ready with this, you can share your screen and create the graph for us. Any graph you choose. I'm not going to tell you what to choose. You can do a pie chart, a bar chart, you can do a histogram, you can do a horizontal graph, you can do a line chart. Just show me this data in a pictorial form using the graph or your charts. So I'm going to ask who is completed compiling the data. Ayana, are you done with compiling the data? Are you still typing?
I'm still typing.
Okay, Guillermo, are you done or are you still typing?
I'm finished.
Great. Guillermo, start doing your thing, man. I love your chats, by the way. Jad, are you done or are you still typing?
Yeah, I put the data in. I can't figure out how to do the graph like you did it where they're combined.
Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah.
So, Janelle, are you done or are you still typing?
I'm done, Professor.
Good. Marlo, are you done or are you still typing?
I'm done.
Great. Nathan and Raymond, are we good to go? Okay, I'll take silence as negative consent. So who is confident enough to share their screen? I'm going to do mine. So look at my screen and watch me do mine. I come to insert, I click on insert. If you have this here, recommended chats, please go ahead and use it. Who has this in their Excel version?
Me,
Who's that?
Guillermo.
Okay, Guillermo, just type in it. To bring you different versions and choose anyone. And that's it. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna build my own. So I'm gonna highlight. I'm gonna go to insert. I wanna use a bar chart. I wanna show it. Now I wanna do something more creative. I don't like this chart. You see, you can always change if you don't like what you see. Let me use another one. Insert. Line chart. Let's see. I want to do something more creative. I've created a chart. So let's try it again. Let me try another way. I want to do something more creative. Let's do add my total and do something. I add up my rows, sum it up. So I highlight first. I come into insert. I come here. Let me see if I have a good chart. Like that. Let me see if I have a good chart. I'm just playing with it to give you guys different options. You can do anything you want, but I'm showing you different ways to create charts. Insert, come here, I want my series, and I want to do this. Beautiful. Who is confident to show me what they created? Who's going to go first? I've created like 5 different charts, and I'm sure you all saw it. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Oh, thanks, Guillermo. Go ahead, take it on. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we can see from his chart that 16 students made A to A minus, 26 made B to B minus, 25 made C to C minus, 10 made D to D minus, and 5 of them scored an F. And if I was to grade you, Guillermo, I would grade you an A plus. Thank you very much. So who's going to go next? I will call names. Janelle, let's give it a try. I see you smiling. Okay, I'll give you some time. Okay, Marlo, let's give it a try. Or Jad. Oh, Janelle is sharing a screen. Great. This is very exciting. I'm so happy. Oh, Janelle, I love this. Please just hold on there. I love what I see. Why did I give Gulam an A plus? Gulam, I'm sorry, I have to give you an A, man. Janelle gets the A plus. This is so good. Good. She has different versions. Very good. Very good. I like the first one, Janelle. If you want to go up, please. You see that it's showing us what each chart represents. Not just showing us the numbers, but it's actually pointing to each bar line. Thank you, Janelle. This is good. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Who wants to share their screen again? Thank you, Janelle. Jad or Guillermo. And Guillermo, I didn't take your points. You still have your A plus. I didn't drop it down. So Ayana, do you want to give it a try?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Oh, beautiful. Good, good. So Ayana has shown with a bar chart the number of students that made an A to A minus 16 students, B 26. So the pie chart, sorry, explains it simply. And she has also, if you notice, she went to title her pie chart number of students, which is good. D and F, good, good, good.
I'm having problems because I usually use like Google Sheets and I can like merge these together.
Okay.
I'm having problems merging these.
Can you go up to AB, that one that says AB? You see it, AB on the top. Top. Have you highlighted it? First of all, highlight that row. From number of students to column, highlight it. Have you highlighted it?
Okay.
No. Row 63. Can you click on rows? Yeah. Highlight it down to from column ABC. Go to C. You're on AB right now. Can you add C? No. So click on row 63, column A. Yeah. Can you go back, please? 63.
63.
Perfect. Now you can either press your shift key and arrow key or just drag to where you have C. Go to B, go to C. No, you're going down the rows. I want you to go.
Oh,
right.
those
Good. Yes. Now, do you
Okay.
notice something that you created a chat and you created a header?
Yeah.
That is might be the reason why it's not, but let's try it still. Go up under automate, just go under automate, up, on the right, up, on the right, that's data. Go to automate. So after data, you have review, view. Don't click.
I can't see it because the screen's blocking it.
Yeah, you can actually bring it down. So under there, okay, go down a bit.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I want you to click on, don't click, but go to where you have AB. You see AB? Yeah. The next one, the very next one, you see merge and center. Do you see that? Click on it. No. Okay. Go back there and click on that merge and center.
It's not available as an option to highlight.
It is. Now go back to home. I saw it just now on your screen. Okay, now when you go to, can you see that after ABC, you see the next one there? So do you see it? Did it go away?
Yeah.
Okay, that is because you created this as a header.
Okay.
So if you take out the headers, it will allow you to merge and center.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
Because if you have a header, if you notice, click on the arrow by number of students, the arrow by number of students. There's an arrow there. You want to click on that arrow? Yes, click on it. You see, you can actually sort. You know, you can sort. You can, let's say, deselect all. Click on select all. That's the, there's something, if you go down, yes, click on that. Okay, now click on only A and B. A and B. Do you notice that your chart has changed and only gives you the results for only A and B?
Yeah.
So because of that, it'll be hard for you to click. So if you deselect the table, you'll be able to merge and center. Does that help you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the table header helps you filter, and that's the advantage. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you, Anna. This is very helpful. Let's get one more person because I'm out of time. Let's one more person and then we call it a day for now.
Yeah, I can share, Professor.
Oh, finally, Marlo, let's do it. Thank you, Ayana. That was really good. That's still an A plus though. Oh, great, great, great. This is excellent, Marlo. I like it. So you are also showing with a pie chart how the pictorial representation of the number of grades the student got for the class of 2024. Perfect. Perfect. Any questions before I wrap it up? There's one more person that's been very quiet. Nathan said he had issues with his laptop. Janelle has spoken, Marlo has spoken, Jad has spoken, Guillermo, Yana. I think we have pretty much wrapped it up. So I'll do a summary of what we did today. First of all, we looked at the accounting and financial records, and we said today that accounting is the keeping of records, is the process of recording, measuring, summarizing business activities and financial transactions related to a business. I talked about the fact that accounting is focused on using data to create reports, while finance is more wide-ranging and covers a wide array of specializations in the world of business, banking, economics. I also said there is management accounting and financial accounting. And financial information is used by both internal and external users. Financial information involves cash, balance sheets, statement of cash flow, and income statements. Managerial accounting is for internal use mainly and provides specific information for managers of the firm. For example, sales reports for a quarter in a financial year. I also talked about bookkeeping. I said bookkeeping is the process of recording financial transactions made by a business. And I talk about the fact that bookkeeping deals with basic data entry, you categorize your transactions, and then there are numerous accounting software available to help with bookkeeping. I talked about balance sheets. It's what tells you at a specific point in time what you have in terms of your assets, your liabilities. I talked to you about the income statement that tells how much income you've earned over a period of time. I told you that the fiscal year is what happens, a financial statement on a 12-month rolling basis. I explained what an accounts payable is and an accounts receivable is. I talked about assets, liabilities, and equity and the accounting equation. Assets equal to liabilities plus equity. Assets are what the company owns, liability are what the company owes, and the equity is the investments the business owner has in the business or other investors have in the business. I told you that financial management involves financial planning, spending of money, which is also called investing, and financing, raising funds for the firm. And a financial manager uses financial statements to make financial decisions. Lastly, the goal of a financial manager is to maximize value of the firm to the owners of the firm. Do we have any questions there? Thank you everyone for joining this call. I hope it was very interactive. I hope you learned a lot from the Excel spreadsheets. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Let's give Mr. Joy a warm round of applause. Let's show our appreciation for the workshop or webinar or presentation that he's provided to us today on accounting and financial management, and also the hands-on Excel practice. If you have any questions, he will be on hand for maybe a few minutes before we start the office hours. Any questions that you would like to ask, or if you have any comments, feel free to let him know about them. No comments, no questions. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Joy, for coming to our class once again. We always appreciate your visits. So in 2 weeks' time, you have an invitation. In 2 weeks' time, we're gonna be rounding up for the semester, and I would like to formally invite you for the series of final project presentations that the students will be making. So if you're available, you're welcome to join us. It's going to be in 2 weeks' time. I think we may do 2 days or one. It depends on how many students will be making the presentations, but I will let you know. But pencil in the week after next, Wednesday and Friday.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Joy. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Professor.
You too. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Professor.
Bye bye.
Welcome. Bye.
Okay, everyone. So office hours is next. I'm going to stop the recording now.